And here we go. Hello, everyone. Leach and Abigail and Kirsten and Catherine and anyone else who's watching. Hello. Just saying hello to the people who say hello to it in chat, but it's a general hello to anyone who's watching, whether it be live or watching it back later, which apparently some people do. Apparently having a couple of hours of noise can help if you're doing chores and stuff. I'm on board with that. That is completely fine. Completely fine. I myself was actually watching someone else's live stream several days after the fact, a bit earlier. Blind Boy, Irish comedian and musician, does a live stream on Twitch a couple of times. Like, wait, what's this message I missed? Oh god, hope it's not important. Cool. Okay, no, under control. A few things being organised around the house, and it's getting a message about some of it. Blind Boy often does a live musical of his play of Red Dead Redemption 2. He has a home music studio set up, and he'll write songs off the cuff or based on what's happening in the game, and it's often very good. And I watched about an hour of that a bit earlier. Hello, Lee. Ooh, Kirsten's making caramelized onion jam. That sounds very good. I need to make a couple of things. I did one thing I had to do today, squeezed some lemons, and I probably need to make a new sugar syrup. And I think I'm going to do my experiment with this tea. Italian almond with artisanal Sri Lankan nutmeg. Because it's got the almond flavor. I'm going to make sugar syrup with some dark sugar, like Demerara sugar, and see if we can make it like an approximation of orgeat, which is an almond-based sweetener. And good evening, Earth W and Shannon. How are you all doing? I probably need to make some new grenadine. Just realized I still had a little bit in the fridge, but I think it's past its prime, so I probably should turf that and make some fresh grenadine. And I mean, I probably won't before the weekend because I'm not going to be making any cocktails before the weekend, like before Friday night. And you know, it has theoretically a limited life. Oh yeah, Shannon, I forgot. Parts of the country are stinky hot. We had an incredibly mild day with quite a bit of rain in Melbourne today. I forget everyone else is still getting the heat wave. Oh, nice. Kirsten, you made some barbecue sauce with whiskey. Fucking fantastic. Yes. That sounds good. SW, you mellow to an iced coffee with whiskey. Why not? I mean, you know, whiskey makes things. If it's your thing, I completely understand that whiskey is an acquired taste, and not everyone has it. In fact, I've been really surprised how much more I've gotten into whiskey in the last year. For the previous couple of years, like one of my favorite cocktails for ages has been a whiskey sour. But arguably, when you make a whiskey sour, you are obscuring a lot of the whiskey flavor. But I've gotten more into the very boozy cocktails where the whiskey is front and center, whether it be an old fashioned or a Sazerac or a Manhattan, or just, you know, quite boozy cocktails that the flavor of the whiskey is, you know, front and center. And that's really only been in the last 12 months. Oh, God, Kirsten, that does sound good, making pulled pork with your whiskey barbecue sauce. God damn. God damn. I did, for my YouTube cocktail channel, I did make the cocktails I made on Friday night. I'm talking to camera to it. I made them the second time I had to make close-ups, and I clarified them. And rather than chucking them in together, which sometimes leads to weird flavors, I just clarified the two cocktails. So this this almost clear urine sample is a Sazerac. So that had Scotch and cognac in it. So you can imagine how brown it was, and the clarification made it nearly clear. And this one, which is an even better hydrated urine sample, this was the Applejack Sour, which was a sort of yellowy orange color, and now it's almost clear. So it's like, get the light behind them, you can see this one's a bit clearer. They're both quite clear, but the Applejack one is a bit clearer, and Applejack is a much lighter color than whiskey as well, which would explain that. So, yes. Good Spirit. It's not James Earl Jones. It's Dave Prowse, the man in the suit. Abigail, you woke up with a migraine, but the meds have kicked in. But it was bad for migraines to suck sauce. Fucking hell, Shannon, it hit 43 in your part of the world. God damn. Yeah, no, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. SW, you do hot black coffee with whiskey. Well, I dislike whiskey quite intensely. Sorry, I dislike coffee. Did I say whiskey or coffee then? Fuck, my brain just froze. I dislike coffee quite intensely, so that is not a thing I would try. Tea, I guess, or hot chocolate, something like that. Abigail, Darth Vader died when he was made to suit. No! Just one of the many travesties in the prequels. They are an embarrassing cavalcade of travesties, those movies. An enormous amount wrong and not much right with them. Good Spirit, you like whiskey just on the rocks? I had fun doing some taste tests because I've got more whiskies over there than I really ever thought I would, including an Australian rye and American rye. Doing taste comparisons between them is quite interesting. But you quit drinking coffee. Yeah, well, there's reasons for that too. Like I never started because I just fucking dislike it. Good Spirit, like vodka. I mean, for me, vodka's about getting drunk because vodka's meant to be neutral, just with that bit of that ethanol taste. But you can certainly mix some good drinks with vodka. Sort of to what you're into. Abigail, have I heard of Backstroke of the West? I really have not. Kirsten, you like whiskey hot chocolate? Yeah, I've never had it, but I just thought of it and it sounded quite good. So that's the thing. Shannon, you like the lightsaber battle scenes? I think the battle scenes generally, the space battles and the land battles in the prequels are good. Story-wise, they're ridiculous. The script is terrible. The acting broadly sucks. And that decision to go with so much computer-generated effects rather than physical models dated really badly. Anyway. Yes, Kirsten, I'm glad you take full responsibility for my increase of Australian spirits. You should be proud, and it is most definitely your influence. Absolutely. Hot damn, Good Spirit. You do a jalapeno or tomato flavored vodka for specialty drinks. That's pretty good. Yes, Good Spirit, I agree, and I think pretty much everyone agrees The Mandalorian's good. I haven't watched the most recent episode, so no spoilers. Just generally, even if I'd watched it, I'd say no spoilers because spoilers are really shitty. Earth W, you know someone that lets you get test products. That's nice. Oh, man, I got a teaser. I mentioned this the other day. I got a teaser. Brookie's Cape Byron distillery are putting out a moonshine, like an unaged grain spirit. I think their flavor. So I'm absolutely fucking getting it when it comes out. It's just going to be a one-off. It's made from distilled beer, so cool. So Abigail, picture this: Star Wars 3: Revenge of the Sith, translated very poorly from Chinese, dubbed with this translation in English. Very entertaining. It's called Star War: The Third Gathers, the Backstroke of the West. Nice. That probably makes it more enjoyable. that probably makes it much more enjoyable. Yes, I keep telling myself I'm gonna stop buying booze, and then somebody just brings out like something special. I'm like, geez, I want to get that too. Running out of trolley space. Maybe I need another trolley for. Maybe I need a proper bar for Christmas. Go to one of the furniture places and get a proper bar, and then I could set up to make my videos somewhere else with the bar set behind me, rather than my fucking dodgy falling apart Roman blinds. So we go when Vader yells no at the end. It's translated as "do not want," which is fair. And the Sith are called the Big, and the Jedi are Presbyterians. Excellent, excellent. The Jedi should be Presbyterians. Good Spirit, you say building my own bar would be cheaper. You have not taken into account my complete and utter lack of carpentry skills and my extraordinary laziness. Those two very much would get in the way of building my own bar. So I really appreciate the suggestion. It's just really not a practical option for me. Okay, Abigail. So what's it called again? The something of the West? The backstroke of the West. I am just going to really quickly look it up. I'm not going to play it on the stream because I'll get fucking pinged for copyright. Backstroke. That's the second autocomplete. The first autocomplete is backstroke swimming. The second autocomplete is backstroke of the West. Star Wars, the third gathers, backstroke of the West. How long is that? 2 hours 20. Oh, and then some people have done edits, just, highlights. So there's the 2 hour 20 version. The thumbnail is Darth Vader saying "do not want." FW had an uncle who had over 1,000 collector wine bottles. Cool. I mean, I'm not a wine drinker, but I appreciate a collection. Abigail, the Jedi Council's called the Presbyterian Church, and the Jedi Knights are called the Hopeless Situation Warrior. Nice, nice. Oh, that's right, Good Spirit. Tyson was doing a bloody fight, wasn't he? You just saw a few references to Tyson. I have no idea our result. I don't even know who he's fighting or what the fucking point of it, because he's my age. I mean, for God, and I mean, he's literally my age. Man, he's just asking for a very painful old age, punishing himself physically like that, because that shit catches up with you more and more the older you are. Yeah, Grasshopper, as Mike Tyson was going to have a fight, and I don't really know any context around it. I just know he was doing it. So, Mike Tyson, what a fucking clown. I'd say it to his face too. I'm not scared. Come on, Mike Tyson. Take your best fucking shot, mate. I don't think you got it in you. You can kind of say that when you're on the other side of the world. Oh, Good Spirit, you reckon he got on the roids? Geez, that's not good, because that also will fuck you up as you're older. FW, I did hear something about a recut of The Godfather 3. And I did hear there was an improved edit of it coming out, because it was pretty fucking stupid, the version that came out. Grasshopper, you don't want to be on the receiving end of one of his punches, even if he's that old. Well, I'm not a little bitch. I'll take you on, Tyson, but you're too fucking scared. I just had this nightmare scenario of someone for a joke trying to make me say that go viral, and Mike Tyson saying he accepts and he's coming to Australia. That would be bad. That would be very, very bad. Okay, so the recut Godfather 3 is coming out on Blu-ray and digital in December. I will probably watch it when it's on a streaming service. I'm not going to rush, because The Godfather, the original, is one of the all-time great films. Like, it's just in terms of its structure and the way it's put together, technically it's just a brilliant piece of filmmaking. Godfather Part Two is not bad. Has some very good stuff in it. Probably could have done with some editing. I mean, maybe it should have been two separate films. Like, they show young Vito, Robert De Niro is young Vito, and then there's Michael's story continuing from one. I mean, maybe they actually should have cut it into two movies, a prequel and a sequel. But yeah, Godfather Part 3 was just like, oh my God. Oh, okay, sure, why not? Okay. Weirdly, here's the thing. Francis Ford Coppola is not an actor's director. He's like the visual filmmaker. And I've seen this, and I've heard this in interviews from multiple actors, and I've seen it in a behind-the-scenes thing. When actors sort of don't understand the intention of a scene or want to know their motivation, they want to know this. Coppola will just say, just read the lines, because he's all about, I'm constructing this, and he's an incredible visual filmmaker, and he just wants the actors to say the lines good, and he's got to shoot it and structure it and all that. And there are certain actors who do not cope well with that, being told to just read the lines. And then there are other actors that they're fine with it. They're great. They're like, okay, I'm just going to trust you to make me look good. I'm going to do my bit, and I trust you to make me look good. But other actors, and I remember a bit of video I saw in like the making of Bram Stoker's Dracula, Gary Oldman being Dracula. He's really drilling Coppola between takes, and he's just like, what's my motivation? What's going on here? What do I do? And Coppola's just going, just read the line. Just read the line, Gary. It'll be fine. You're great. Just read the line. And Gary Oldman's borderline losing his fucking mind, and he was fairly deep into alcoholism at that point in his life. He had a very, very bad bout of alcoholism, so I think he probably had a lot of mood swings and a lot of self-doubt at that point. And Coppola did not help him at all. But FW, that's another good one. Challenge Bruce Lee to a fight and you win by default. Abigail, you haven't seen any of the Godfather movies. They're very interesting because it's, that 70s new wave American filmmaking. Like the original, The Godfather is fucking epic. And it is so well shot. Like, Coppola is an exceptional visual director. It is so well shot and is so well put together. And the performances are great. And Pacino, young Al Pacino, oh my God. Young Al Pacino. And particularly there's one scene where, because, some other guys got some corrupt cops to fuck with them, and in fact broke Michael's jaw at one point. And Michael's the youngest son. He's not meant to become a gangster. He's meant to be the legitimate family member. And, he's a war hero. And like he's come out of World War II, a hero. And he just gets drawn into the family thing. And when they're talking about how they're going to get this cop and the other mobster, and Michael just goes, I'll do it. And because it's the cop who broke his jaw. And he's going, I'll do it. I'll go to the restaurant and hide a gun for me and I'll kill him. And his older brother, Sonny, who's fucking wild one, who is like, he's the one who shoots people. He just laughs and he goes, Mikey, you're the big guy now. You're taking it all a bit personally. And Michael just says why he's the best one for it. They won't expect it and da-da-da-da-da. And then he just really calmly looks at Sonny and goes, it's not personal, Sonny. It's just business. And just go, dude, you're just going out. You're going to kill another high-ranking mobster and a cop, and you're just ice fucking calm about it. I was like, Jesus. He was very good in Scarface, but Scarface he's quite overblown. He's doing that Pacino over-the-top stuff, whereas Michael, he's much more controlled. In The Godfather, it's much more controlled. Timothy Hatton, if I like real-life creepy things, look up Number Station. I've heard of number stations. That's the thing that no one really knows what they are, but they're like a relic of the Cold War. And it's suspected that there's some sort of code transmission, if I'm thinking of the right thing. So, God, speaking of creepy things, I have to go back and watch Marble Hornets one day. If you don't know what Marble Hornets is, it's a faux documentary, supposedly from like student filmmakers who are making a movie called Marble Hornets, and it's all the behind the scenes stuff. And it's basically what popularized the concept of Slender Man, the horror character invented by the internet. And there's all this weird fucking creepy shit that happens, and they don't even draw your attention to it a lot of the time, that something was weird and something's going wrong, and you might not even notice when something weird's happening. Slender Man's actually in the background of the shot. And watch Marble Hornets alone at night in a dark room, and it's incredible slow burn. They are so patient. It's not jump scares. It's nothing. It's this incredible slow burn of just absolute creepiness, and just their patience to let it play out over such an extended series of videos. It's bloody clever stuff. And of course, in line with Slender Man, when they first released it, they didn't do any fanfare around it. So that was a real slow burn on YouTube, and it was just supposed to be some film student releasing their behind the scenes stuff of when they tried to make this film, Marble Hornets. And so it creates the whole mythos of, ooh, Slender Man's real. Yeah. Yes, Timothy, I do remember that. I didn't see it. The doco called Beware the Slender Man, about those girls. Were they 12? I knew they were very young. Yeah, Slender Man didn't tell them to do it. They were just fuck-ups. And just from reading shit on the internet, they came up with the plan of when you get caught for killing or trying to kill your friend, just say crazy shit and they won't hold you responsible. They didn't believe their defense that Slender Man told them to do it. I think someone tried to make a Slender Man horror movie as well. And I think there was literally one called Slender Man. And I know there was one that used a different name for the character, but was essentially a complete rip-off of Slender Man. Can't remember what that was called. But I just think Slender Man's hilarious because, for those who don't know the background, some people in the very early days of the internet decided, they were like, how do urban legends start? How do they catch on? Could we create one? Could we create like an urban legend monster and build something up. And so they realized to do it, you'd have to seed the stuff out on the internet for years. You couldn't go straight out and go, oh, do you remember the horror story Slenderman? You had to start seeding stuff out. So when you went a bit stronger with your, oh, you know about Slenderman, people started looking on the internet. They'd be finding stuff that was 5 and 10 years old. And it's like, oh shit, maybe there's something to it. This stuff's been around. And the patience of the people who initially put together the Slenderman mythos was just incredible. Just as a social experiment, like, can we get someone to believe this? Which is pretty wild. But yeah, sometimes people have a bit of patience. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to try and find it on Twitter. I just remembered a little bit of Twitter folklore. Rank. Okay. Okay. I forget what it was. Anyway, someone had a Twitter account that was named after Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror. And they started their account in the early days of Twitter, and they just tweeted antici, and then they didn't tweet anything for like 5 years. And 5 years later, they tweeted patient. And for those who don't know, in Rocky Horror Picture Show, Rocky Horror Stage Show, there's, I don't know, what would you call it, a musical pun, a singing pun, that Frankenfurter sings a line about anticipation. But there's a pause where he goes, anticipation. So you're anticipating the second bit. There's one kind of a pun. Yeah, someone did that on Twitter, and they waited 5 years or more to do that joke. Abigail, that's correct. You're right, of course. Slenderman started on the Something Awful forums, and they were very patient with setting it up. The Slenderman movie was creatively called Slenderman. Hey, Justin, how are you? Yes. So some people are very patient and put a lot of time and effort into their jokes. Good for them, I say. You can't make a living doing that sort of thing because you got to work, you got to get paid. So I even just, okay, this is a weird one. Like, as I've said multiple times, I kind of gave up on the idea of trying to be big on YouTube years ago, mostly because YouTube kept changing the rules all the time, and I didn't adapt well to change. And particularly when they started freaking out and limiting stuff for monetization, like if you swear, it's very hard to be monetized. And as if I was gonna fucking cut back on my swearing. Which is why I laugh when I see edgy comedians or comedically inclined YouTube channels who desperately want those YouTube dollars, who beep their swearing because they have to if they want to make money. And I just find that fucking hilarious. It's like, yeah, you're edgy. You're so edgy, bruh. You're so edgy. You're so edgy. You beat the swearing, you fucking sad sack. And yeah, they actually don't have a choice if they want to make money off YouTube. But man, it's funny when they act like they're edgy. So, SW, when you and mate were 14, tricked someone the same age from school, monster lived in the pipe. You went in and vocalized growls and screaming, and he ran off. God damn. Yeah. Okay. Monster in the pipe. Hi, Safa. How you doing? I remember laugh at some of those videos you see that set up. That's people set something up, and one of them was a very realistic Jurassic Park Velociraptor. See, this me being a Velociraptor. Yeah. Jurassic Park Velociraptor costume chasing people around an office, and one that I just cracked up laughing at was a big friendly dog that they put like spider legs on, and it liked people, so it would run towards people, and so it looked like a giant hairy spider. Like, it was a German Shepherd. It was like a hairy dog, German Shepherd, and it looked like a giant hairy spider running at people. And they even did this thing with fake spider web in these subway tunnels. So I know it's a T-Rex Megaleech, but the Velociraptors have the little arms out the front too. Quite unhide, you never been on a live stream? It's different. Yeah, it's chatting. It's just every now and then I'll go on a tear. Normally it's just chatting, but I will sort of go off every now and then. Aspie, what's with your Pokemon fixation tonight? Timothy, yes, I literally played the original Doom that you got on a floppy disk to play on an old PC. I got like that remade Doom for the PlayStation 4. I fucking couldn't get into it. I've just gotten really bored with run and gun games. I just like open world games now. The closest to run and gun that I like is Borderlands. But even that is like a hybrid between shooty and open world. But yeah, the last couple of years I've really enjoyed things like GTA 5 and Mafia 3, Yakuza 0, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Red Dead Redemption 2, which I'm playing at the moment. Yeah, they all have shooty aspects, but they're a bit more the open world thing. I got both Doom and Wolfenstein for the PlayStation 4. I couldn't get into either of them because it's like you'd make it about 5 steps before the big shootout and get killed, and I just found it frustrating and stopped. The Days Gone, I've vaguely heard of that on PS4. I've ever played Flight Sim. I played really early versions of Flight Sim back in the day. That's not something I've played for a very long time. So was it hard to install games on DOS? No, you just had to do it from the C prompt. There'd be a little label on the disk that told you what to type in. You put the disk in and bring the prompt up and go run exe, and off you go. Oh, Timothy, Days Gone's an open world zombie game. Thank you. That actually does sound good. I did have fun with Left 4 Dead as well, Left 4 Dead 2. I didn't play a lot of them, but I played a bit of I think it was Left 4 Dead 2 I played. Bit of fun. Crimson Skies sounds familiar, but I don't think I played a lot. And yes, Justin, I've heard the new Flight Sim is amazing, and I'd probably enjoy it if I had it. I haven't got around to it. I don't have much the fucking settings on this fucking webcam. Oh god, that's what I should have done. Found a fucking webcam in the Black Friday sales. All right. I knew I fucking forgot something. Oh, that helped it a bit. Okay. Because I did order some stuff, and as I was ordering, I was going, wasn't I going to get something else? Yes, I was. I was going to get fucking webcam. Anyway. As for you did the old DOS and Macintosh games too? Yes, they're pretty well. Safa, Star Wars Squadrons sounds interesting. Because I love the old TIE Fighter versus X-Wing games, like from the 90s. They were very good. Yes, Kirsten, tomorrow is Cyber Monday. I may look and see if I can get a webcam. Oh, yeah, quite on hard day to say. Crimson Skies. I thought Pirates, yes. Alternate universe gang of pirates and their airship, yes. Yep. That now sounds familiar. That being pirates in Crimson Skies sounds very familiar. So yes. Oh God. Oh yes, I have a Rogue Squadron on Nintendo. Was not bad. I think I had Rogue Squadron on the Nintendo 64. And by had, I mean have. It'll be in a box somewhere in there. What was the first Star Wars computer game I played? Was Dark Forces, where you're Kyle Katarn stealing the Death Star plans. That because that was the first one where you got to shoot stormtroopers. I fucking love that. Now, that's a big question, Megaleaf. Does anyone know of a good 17-inch gaming laptop deal for tomorrow? I guess I'd just look on the websites. FW Fall Guys. What's the genre of Fall Guys? I'm not familiar with that one. I've got a couple more sort of open worldish games to play on the PlayStation 4, and I haven't played them yet. I got a Mrs. Angry's become the gamer. She played. I never finished God of War. She did God of War. She's playing Assassin's Creed, the Greek one, Odyssey. She's playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey at the moment. She played Red Dead Redemption as well. She didn't play GTA 5 or Mafia 3 or Yakuza 0. She just thought they were too focused on the violence. But yes, for Christmas she gets Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm getting a Switch and the new Zelda Hyrule Warriors game. Looking forward to probably. Okay, Fall Guys is a party-style platformer. Foot race obstacle course simulator. 100 players piloting jelly babies through a game of Wipeout. Okay, cool. That does sound like a party game. Hot tip Abigail for Megalith. Check out PC Case Gear. And hello, Chris. How you doing? I assume that's like a copy from their website, FW. Fall Guys is a massive multiplayer party game with up to 60 players online in a free-for-all, struggling through round after round of escalating something. Ugh. I'm decide if I'll try one of these tonight or, save them for Friday night or something. I actually had this concept I came up with today because milk clarified videos that I've done are really popular. And what I often do, because I have to make the cocktails a second time usually to get close-ups for my YouTube video, and I often milk clarify them afterwards, and I just drink them. And I was thinking I could do the milk clarification first. I could make when I decide what cocktails I'm making for the week, I could do the close-ups first, and then like during the week, and then milk clarify those, and then on Friday night make a cocktail live, and then actually do a taste test side by side of the cocktail and its clarified version, because the clarified ones aren't always better. They're always different, They're always interesting. They're usually good, and they're often better than the original cocktail. But there's quite a bit of variety. Sometimes it's like, well, it's interesting, but it's not great. And sometimes it's like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. But yes. Chris, you're surviving. Oh, that's an increasingly challenging thing to do in your country. Raiders, your tips for the laptops: PCCG, MSY, and Centacom. All good tips. Quinn and Hyde playing Crusader Kings 2. Cool. I'm not very familiar with that one either. Earth W sent me the link for Fall Guys. Thank you. I will check it out at some point. Do you think there's one thing, because all those, not all those, but a lot of those open world games I was talking about have an online component, and I've never gotten into that because online gaming fucking shits me, because essentially your enjoyment of the game is limited by the most toxic person in the environment, and there's hella toxic people out there. And it's like, oh yeah, of course, Mega H, PCCG is PCK's gear. Of course it is. Of course it is. I'm just easily distracted. So while I really enjoyed Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, I've not really been tempted by the online versions at all. Same as Borderlands. Really love Borderlands. Never been tempted to play the online version because you just get fucking toxic motherfuckers. And I don't need it. I don't need to invite toxic jerks into my life. And I'm just really comfortable playing at my own pace. Whereas, like playing multiplayer online, there's a lot of pressure to react to the other people around you. So I've just never been particularly tempted to play the multiplayer online shit. But that's just me. And clearly, lots of people enjoy doing that because lots of people do it. And that's good because people are different and everyone should have their options. It's like I play games on easy mode because I just want to have fun and I don't want hours of frustration trying to do really difficult niggly shit. But some people, like you get the really obsessive types who they only enjoy the games if they're playing on a really hard setting. Like that's the level of challenge they want, to play on a really hard set. And I remember we were talking about the original Doom. It had like 4 settings, and the easiest one was called "Please Don't Hurt Me," and I think the most difficult setting was called Nightmare. And it was a challenge to get better and better at it to where you could beat it on Nightmare. And that maybe it's about getting old. Maybe it's just because I'm old. I just don't need. I don't need that challenge. I'm sure you wouldn't be toxic if we played Borderlands. But I think I just uninstalled it actually because I haven't played it for a while. I got Borderlands 3 for the PlayStation 4 and I quite enjoyed it. I didn't actually play very far into it and I got distracted and haven't gone back to it. And people say, it don't matter, it's a shit game. No, it doesn't matter, it's a shit game. I did the same with God of War. I only played a little bit into God of War and got distracted and didn't go back. Now, admittedly, there are other games where I didn't get distracted, like Breath of the Wild or Yakuza 0, Mafia 3, GTA 5, now Red Dead Redemption 2. So it's just the thing. It's just a thing that I started and I got distracted. But taking 3 weeks off over Christmas, who the fuck knows what I'll do then? Probably nothing. I'm going away for 4 days prior to Christmas. And then I'm going to be at home for 2 weeks. And that might mean I do nothing for 2 weeks. Might mean I do a lot of stuff for 2 weeks. I won't know until it happens. Not really making any plans. So we shall see what we see. It's just one of those things, I guess. Oh my God, Megaleech. There was a Godfather Part 2 game, a bit like GTA. Not familiar with that one. Ooh, Raiders. Yeah, I've heard all the stories about PS5 being in short supply, but that happens every time one of the consoles is released, unless I'm mistaken. They're very hard to get at first. It's like even, new phones can be very hard to get for a while. So I basically never rush to get these new things. I'm not that troubled by PS5s being hard to get because I won't be getting one before. God, if I got one next Christmas, that would be really soon for me. Like I got a PS2 when the PS3 came out because then the PS2s were really cheap, and I played the PS2 for fucking years. I love the PS2, and I never got a PS3. But when was the PS4 release date? PS4 release 2013. Jesus. Okay. So the PS4 came out in 2013. I didn't know it was that long ago. End of 2013. I only got it like, what, 2 years ago? So that's 5 years after it came out. God damn. Yeah, so if I got a PS5 next Christmas, that would be very early by my standards. So if you order a PS5 through Amazon, you get to play with a bag of rice or other unrelated items. Are you referring to stories which I think I've heard of people ordering PS5s online and getting a box that does not have a PS5 in it? And it's all a bit stressful. Hey, Shieldsy, how you doing? Oh, nice. I just got that joke, Abigail. A Twitter user pretending to be Internet Explorer celebrating the release of the PS3. Because Internet Explorer is slow. Yeah. God, and I'm old. I remember when Microsoft took over the internet with Internet Explorer, when they deliberately killed Netscape Navigator, the free browser. But of course, Internet Explorer. Well, Netscape Navigator was trying to monetize, and Microsoft just burst in with Internet Explorer saying, this is always going to be free and bundled with the operating system because we don't like the idea of Netscape being a big company, so we're going to destroy it. Shieldsy, damn hot. I hear many parts of the country are damn hot. Feel a bit self-conscious about boasting that we were not hot today. I think it only got up to mid-20s today. Tomorrow's 25, 27. Yep, we got a real mild week ahead of us. which I'm very happy about. I do not like hot weather. Want me to update the app? Okay, I will. I haven't updated it. Oh, I should plug this in, actually. Oh, shit. I just realized I didn't send AZ a link, but he also hasn't texted me saying where's the link. I should, just in case he was waiting for that. Now, he would have texted me if he's waiting. I think something's happened and he's good thing. We shall see, because I did talk to him a little bit earlier today and he did want to be here, but anything could happen between. Well, shit, Megally, it's always lovely in Tasmania, except when it's fucking freezing. All right. That's the weather news. As I'll be talking about hot, Fibro house I grew up in would be 50C inside when it was mid-30s. Yeah, poorly insulated housing is like the 70s and 80s. They started doing those when, the populations at schools were growing and the budget for the school was not growing. They started putting up those demountables, supposed portable and temporary classrooms, fucking tin boxes and no air conditioning. I remember summers in Dubbo at school, particularly in those fucking things. You just be like working on yourself, like leaning over a book, writing, and the sweat was just dropping onto the page, making it really hard to write on the page because it's fucking hot. Megalich, I'd rather. Would I? I don't know. I feel like I'd rather Tassie's cold than the really brutal hot you get further north. But no, I don't know. I'd probably complain a lot in the winter. Shields, you're in an A-frame house in Queensland. Yeah, that'd be harsh. Ovens in January and December. Yeah. Oof, yeah. It's weather. Hey, weather is fucking wild, isn't it? So I just randomly remembered something I saw on a doco. We talk about hot places. India. India, hot, right? But they had some fucking amazing understandings of science, and this is like a long time ago. And there are these temples that are dug into the ground, and I think some of them. I think some of them are temples. Some of them might have just been wells, and they're carved into the rock, and there's rock stairways going down and down and down and down to a well, and it's so deep that the water's really cold at the bottom. And in fact, they were able to actually design these places in a way that this cold airflow, they left water in shallow bowls, it would actually freeze, like they'd get ice. And up above in the outside world, it's like 30, 40 Celsius or more. But this structure was made in such a way they were actually making ice. It's wild. Shields, you reckon kids today don't know a hot classroom? I don't know. I don't know if they're all fucking air conditioned now. Softies. AFW, Rockhampton, nowhere to escape the heat. Yeah, you just got to, like, at some point, fill a bathtub with water and lie in it. And you just can't go anywhere because it's brutal. And Quantum High, Ballarat, as cold as it gets without being a skiing slope, it still gets 40s. And so, yes, Ballarat gets the extremes. Really fucking cold in winter and really fucking hot in summer. The extremes of Ballarat are brutal, I reckon. And you don't understand Sydney people complaining about heat. They're moving out of Sydney because it's stupidly expensive, but they go north. Oh, they're from Sydney. They're not very bright. So, Raiders, Lake King William in the middle of winter, you get sunburnt. Well, you get sunburnt on the ski slopes because it can be very sunny and it also reflects off the snow. It's very easy to get sunburnt on ski slopes if there's no cloud. Shieldsy, why do people down south move to Queensland? Because they get sick of the cold and they think they'll like it warm. Same as in America, all the old people retire to Florida. It's a fucking swamp. Florida's hot and humid, got extreme weather, way worse than Queensland. But yeah, you get old people retire to both of them because they want to retire to the sun. They think they'll like it. Ugh. Yeah. It's not really for me, I don't think. But when you were a kid in Ararat, pissed off school didn't get aircon. 5 kilometers too far south to get them free from government seeing any. Well, there was not even that rule when I was a kid because we were definitely not too far south. We were in like Western New South Wales and fucking brutal in summer. Just didn't have the budget for it. That's the thing, Quantahide. If there's a boundary for something, it always feels unfair if the boundary works against you. But you know, there's got to be some sort of boundary for that sort of thing. But yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try these. I'm not going to have a full one. I might say anything, but I want to see what that tastes like. I'm going to put some ice in a glass. So I'm going to do it stylishly. Right. So, right, you bloody well, right. Get me rocks glass. Got my rocks glass. Got my clear ice. This one, I think. Ooh, that'll do nicely. Sits in the glass nicely. I should let it temper. If I pour the room temperature drink straight on this ice out of the freezer, it'll probably crack, which will ruin the clear effect. It doesn't look completely clear now because it's a little bit frosty, but there's no air bubbles or anything in it. So I'll give it a couple minutes to temper, and then I'm going to pour the drink over it, and then you'll see how clear it is. So you're so used to eating ice cream at tropical speed. You look like pigs shoving ice cream in your mouth when you're out in Sydney. Yeah, it is. It's what you get used to. I've got to know you spent a couple summer holidays outside Gunnedah picking up bellies in the shearing shed. Oh, working a shearing shed in summer. God damn. No matter what you're doing. Of course, shearing is the hardest, heaviest, sweatiest, but any work on a sheep station in summer is going to be fucking tough. So it was cold today. It's mild to cool, I think, in different parts of Victoria. Melbourne, it was just cool. It's quite a bit of rain. How much rain are we getting this week? It's supposed to be a La Nina pattern for the rest of the summer, which means more rain than usual. We got maybe no rain tomorrow, but rain on Tuesday, and then no rain for the rest of the week. And then maybe raining on the weekend. Okay. So I didn't do laundry today, so I might do it tomorrow. All right, while I think of it, I should put this on to charge, or I will regret it because it might die while I'm asleep. And then the alarm won't wake me up. And then I'll get stuck in a morning commute. Ha! No, I won't, because I'm working from home. Yes. Oh, God, I got something sticky on my hand. Gross. Gross. I got to wash it because my hand's really annoying me and being sticky. Ugh. Okay. All right. The joys of working in the kitchen. I can just go and wash my hands. Right. You bloody well, right. Oh. Yes. If La Nina works out and a bit more rain, and we probably won't have as bad a fire season, but that would potentially make the subsequent one worse. But anyway, we'll see. Shilsey, when you went through Dubbo back in January, it's like spring day in Queensland. Yeah. Yes, Abigail, you've been giving out handies. It's a sordid story about storing frozen juice in the freezer, but it being on its side, and even frozen, a sort of sticky syrup went down. Does sound like handies though, doesn't it? Getting sticky syrup on my hands. Safra, I think the short answer to your question is yes. If you're working from home, you can claim some electricity and internet for tax. You should talk to an accountant, but I believe the short answer to your question is yes. Best rain you've ever seen was in Broken Hill. It's a nice 20 minutes. Yeah, what's good rain? I mean, I've been in fucking heavy rain, like just brutal heavy rain. What's the most intense I've been? Probably driving in Sydney. I was going out to the western suburbs when this mother of a storm came through. It's just belting down. I was going out on the expressway out west, and then I started to see people who pulled over because driving in this rain had freaked them out, and they'd pulled over. I'm just going, weak, you're weak. And I went for a couple of minutes, and I got to the stage where, okay, I actually can't see the front of my car. This is a solid wall of water coming down, and I can't see a fucking thing. And so I pulled over. Like literally, and the rain was falling in such volume that there was a vague glow from my headlights, but I couldn't see any features of the front of my car. It was real fucking bad. FW want to send Morrison a gift wrapped garden hose for Christmas. Not sure I want to know that. Safi, just swim in the river. Yeah. No, that's one of the only fun things to do. Shall was go down to the river. I probably didn't do it as much as other members of my family, but we even had this picnic spot. There was a bend in the river where, unless it was flooding, there was a big sort of flat area that was covered in sand, and so we called it Sandy Beach. It was really funny because it was like beach sand, and you bend at the river, and so that was actually lots of families would go there. Nice picnic spot, and you go for a swim in the river. Wasn't the tax relief something completely insignificant? Probably. Kirsten, is the tax thing for working from home 80 cents now? I haven't looked into it. Yeah, but I know you can, but I don't know exactly this. But yeah, I would talk to an accountant. Okay, I'm hoping that is successfully tempered now. Have I given it long enough? Have I? I don't know. I think so. Oh, is your frost melted? Oh. All right. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. Which one should I do first? The Scotch one or the... I think I'll do the Applejack one first because it's going to be less intense. I'll just pour a little bit of the Applejack over. Crack. Does anyone remember that hip-hop track from the 90s? Crack killed Applejack. Whenever anyone talks about Applejack, I just hear that crack killed Applejack. He jumped in and he didn't jump back. He was just too blind to see that death lives in the rock house. So now you see how clear my ice is because it's wet and the frost is gone from it. So proud of my clear ice and my clear clarified cocktail, really. Yes. So what's in that? That's just Applejack, which is a distilled spirit made from apples. So from one perspective, it's distilled apple cider and bitters and lemon juice. And that's all that's in it, I guess. And milk, or whey from milk. For comparison, wait, I've got a new bottle of Applejack. I'll show you what Applejack looks like. Because I finished a bottle of Applejack making that. So, this is Applejack. Laird's Applejack. actually a little bit difficult to get in Australia. So that's Applejack, and we're trying to get them in the same background. Fucking hell. So you see, oh my god, I'm so fucking unco because it's not a mirror. So you can see it's almost clear, but it was that dark. Or if I put it over my face so it's got a lot of, you can see it's very brown. It's very amber, very brown. That's Applejack, and this stuff is almost clear. So that's the clarifying process. Yes, Richard, may the force be with David Prowse. So yeah, and the clear ice helps as well, make it look very clear. But this one, which is slightly darker, that was Scotch. You know how dark Scotch is, Scotch and cognac. So they're darker than Applejack. So it's slightly darker. Applejack, almost clear. Scotch and cognac, a bit darker. And in fact, that has a tiny smidge of the blue absinthe in it as well. And I did a clarified drink once that had a lot of the blue absinthe in it. And clarified, it was this really beautiful emerald green. Most but not all the blue filtered out of it. And it was a really quite lovely emerald green. Suffer. No, Hayden Christensen was not as buff as David Prowse. That is true. Suffers the alcohol percentage in Applejack varies depending who makes it. This one, which is the only one I've been able to get in Australia, some people say this isn't real Applejack because it's like 35% distilled from cider and 65% neutral grain spirit, like vodka, and it's 40% alcohol. The one that is completely the cider brandy, they call it bottled in bond, I think. Is it bonded in bottle or bottled in bond? It's one of those two. Look it up. Laird's bottled in bond. Holy shiz, it's like twice as expensive. If anyone's stocking it, the bottled in bond, it's fucking twice as expensive. Just found a site with it. Laird single cask apple brandy, 750 mils. God damn, 150 bucks. God damn. Okay, now they're calling that apple brandy, not Applejack. Yeah. So it's bottled at 100 proof. So the bottled in bond is 50% alcohol, and this one, which is a mix of the cider brandy and neutral grain spirit, is 40% alcohol. And I think I've mentioned on another stream, the original way Applejack was made was by freezing, what do you call it, apple cider. And I think it was literally just putting barrels of apple cider out in the snow in winter, and the water content would freeze first, leaving a more concentrated alcohol. And they like drill a hole through the ice and drain out the much stronger alcohol, and that's called jacking. That process of freezing a drink and getting its essence out is called jacking. I know Conan Hyde's having internet troubles. That's not good. Raiders, my cocktail channel is not monetized. It's not big enough yet because I started off completely unknown in that niche and I'm slowly growing it. Who are you saying then and then to? Oh, is that to Grasshopper? Because I don't see his comments on you. Seems like you're having a conversation with someone. Oh, no, that's in relation to Safa. Sorry. I see. That's cool. Yes, I get that sort of stuff because I had a high school English teacher who fucking drilled it into me just with repetition. So I've become quite the grammar pedant. Okay, so oh my god, this is very light. Like, what do you taste now? You are getting like an apple cidery taste. You can taste the lemon in it as well because that's all that's in it. The apple jack and yeah, it almost tastes like cordial. And considering that's probably 20% alcohol. It's like with the apple jack, got added lemon juice and added whey, which probably cuts it down by half. So that's probably 20% alcohol, which is slightly strong for a cocktail. Some cocktails are stronger than that, many are less strong than that. Abigail, I also agree. Pedantry with grammar. It's important. Oh my god, I loved. We were talking about Viz comic the other day. I remember one, and I think this was a real one. They didn't do it as a joke. They were putting in one of the a feature in their letters to the editor thing where someone got really pedantic about something they'd printed, and so they were going to make fun of them, and so they started a special feature in 1 month's issue called Pedantic's Corner, where they show someone being pedantic about something. And then the next month they had Pedantic's Corner. And they said, yes, thanks to all you fucking pedants who pointed out that it's incorrect to call it Pedantic's Corner. It should be called Pedant's Corner. Fuck all of you. Like, I think they actually did that accidentally, made a grammatical mistake when they were referring to Pedantic's Corner. So all the pedants piped up and went, that should actually be called Pedant's Corner. Raiders, what are you hoping will grow to a size where it'll be profitable? Are we talking about my penis again? We hadn't made any gratuitous sexual references. Missing AIDSy, so I just thought I'd make the gratuitous sexual reference there. That's what the actress said to the bishop. I actually said that in my one of my cocktail videos. It's the second video I made, but because it was a Friday night, it was like I'd had 4 cocktails by that stage, and so I was rambling, and when I was putting the shaker together, like putting the 2 halves together, and you got to bang it in, and I went, so you put the ass in, bang it in hard, like the actress said to the bishop, and then you shake it around for 10 seconds. And then I just went, I think the actress and the bishop had a very unsatisfying sex life, basically. And I said, I should stop. I should just stop. I should stop talking. Oh, Raiders, the cocktail channel. Thank you. Mostly I want the cocktail channel to be fun. Honestly, what would be a high point for me is if I was able to grow the cocktail channel where it got me invites to things. That's what I'd want. It's like, oh, he's a cocktail influencer. Let's invite him to this opening of a really swish cocktail bar. That's basically the level of success I want out of it. So, or, you know, to get endorsement deals with alcohol I like. Yes, exactly. You're on the same wavelength, Raiders. Samples from alcohol companies, definitely. And I did see that, Safa, China putting the tariffs on Australian wine. The Australian government is a pack of fucking morons. Abigail, I must have missed your handles comment. I don't always get everything that's in the chat. Yes, Kirsten, that's what you want at Instagram too. Yes, be noticeable enough that you get invites and samples. So yes, get more money from Cocktail Channel so you buy more cocktails. Oh God, I saw that too, Shieldsy. Trump sitting at the little table was fucking hilarious as a metaphor for his sinking into insignificance. That was chef's kiss. Brilliant. Now I'm gonna try the Sazerac. Sazerac is a really boozy New Orleans cocktail. This one's cognac, whiskey, splash like about 10 mils of absinthe. And I had to add a bit of lemon juice so there was an acidic element, so it would curdle. And I've got to hear a cat complaining. They're outside. If you're too lazy to go around to the cat door, I don't care. Oh, handies. Sorry. See, that's why I was confused. I was reading what you said there as handles. Handies, yes. Well, yes, we did get very gratuitous with the handies line with my sticky hands. Right, see, so even though that one's a bit yellower, when it's in the glass with the clear ice, it looks very clear. And again, that was whiskey and cognac. So that was very dark brown. That was very dark brown, and it's gone that beautiful, clear, very light yellow. But also, when I met, this was the Highland Sazerac, and I really enjoyed it on Friday night. Yes, tomorrow's, yeah. Tomorrow's a work day, so that's why I'm just having little samples, Safa. Ooh. Oh, it's still got that little bit of smokiness, just a little bit from Scotch. And it wasn't a particularly smoky Scotch, but all Scotch is a bit smoky. So. Ooh, that's really quite pleasant. Again, it's really light. Kind of tastes like juice with just a little, doesn't taste, there's no alcohol taste. Oh, I can taste a bit of the absinthe. There's a little bit of licorice late on the palate, as they say. And Kirsten's going, oh my God, so many wanky shot words, which is lost to the past with the live stream we used to watch. But I don't have rules, so I can say the wanky words like vegetal and herbaceous. And what were the other really fantastic wanky words? Mineralistic. All right, so I've got to open up Instagram. See if I can share it. Instagram. Am I logged into Instagram on this laptop? Yes, I am. What do we got? Right. No, I'm not logged into my cocktail channel, so I need to just look up Gin Cart AU. Check out Kirsten's photos. Oh, your Christmas one. Yes. Can that go? Oh, yeah, the Jingle Bells gin. Yes. With your advent calendar. Wow. Yeah, I'll share this little picture. Share screen. Chrome tab, the G card. All right. So I try and make it a bit bigger. So yes, that's Kirsten's Christmas gin, looking fabulous. Very nice. Very, very nice. Booze advent calendars. Gotta love that. Oh, nice. Oh, yes, that's right, Kirsten. You correct me if I'm wrong, Kirsten, but was it Bill Lark who actually is like the godfather of Australian whiskey? He actually really kicked that off. I'm sure you've told me, I think it was Bill Lark. I'm sure you've told me the story before. It's about the one who really opened up the new age for Australian spirits. Because there's some really fucking good Australian spirits, like hundreds of gin distilleries and a fuckload of whiskey distilleries as well. So big cheers to that, and liqueur ones, like the stuff I've got stuff from very locally from Marionette, and from the Cape Byron distillery. There you go. Bill Lark, whiskey godfather. He's the one who basically kick-started the fucking whiskey industry in Australia. W, one of your daughters gave you a bag of sunflower seeds. Now empathise with the life struggles of seed-eating birds. It just made me think I've seen a few distilleries with various bonus bits, and one of them was if you buy the gin and you put this code in, they'll send you some seeds that grow herbs that make really good garnishes for gin cocktails. So it's basically, if you're patient, you get your gin, and then you get a little bag of seeds that you plant in your garden, and you will eventually get nice herbs that are good for garnishing, which is nice. Our raiders yet a long night crawling out of larks, avoiding the Hobart Harbour. Dang. My God, this is so light. Like, it's astonishing because I really enjoyed the Highland Sazerac I made on Friday night. Boozy as fuck. This clarifying the drink often, but not always, but often takes away the really boozy tasting elements of the drink. I don't think it takes out the alcohol at all. I don't have an easy way to test that. I really wish I could. I wish there was some way to easily test alcohol content of a cocktail before I clarified it and after. That's right. It was actually Archie Rose, Kirsten. Yes, where Kirsten works now. And the pineapple syrup. I got that email that just popped into my head and I forgot who it was from. I got the email saying, hey, buy this and you get this. There was a pineapple syrup and yeah, the seeds. Yep. But I just bought the stuff from Archie Rose. This really doesn't taste like alcohol. It has a really, actually, it doesn't taste that much of anything. It has a really light, fruity, it kind of tastes like, those waters with a hint of fruit in them. I'm not joking. That's what it tastes like. And this is fucking whiskey and cognac. So a wine brandy, which is probably why it tastes a bit like grape juice, and a reasonably serious whiskey. And it kind of tastes like those waters that have a hint of fruit in them. And then as it goes down, there's this tiny bit of Scotch smokiness, and then there's a tiny licorice aniseed from the absinthe. It's fucking amazing. Like, it's really taking the edge off it. Yes, we don't have any gunpowder, and that's a very imprecise measure for the proofing. Because you have gin garnishes on your balcony garden. Nice. Abigail, a refractometer to test the alcohol content should be that expensive. I don't know. Let me look up. Refractometer. $25 from Wish. That probably works. Through to $163 for brewing. Measured the degree to which light changes direction, called the angular pressure. Takes established angles, correlates them. Jeez, that's fucking complicated. What is a refractometer and how does it work? Brick scale. How the heck does that work? A digital refractometer. Fucking hell, that's $400. Shit. Is that really accurate for measuring alcohol? What does Wikipedia say about a refractometer? 4 main types. Okay. Drug diagnostics, gemology, home brewing, specific gravity before fermentation to determine the amount of fermentable sugars which will potentially be converted to alcohol. See, that is not sounding like it is going to tell me what I want to know. That may be my ignorance at work there, but that does not sound like it's going to tell me what I want to know. FW, thanks for hanging out. So, Kirsten, a Snap 51 Alcometer is only $8,000. Okay, use a specific gravity to measure the content. Again, okay, so I'm speaking from a position of complete ignorance. Do I need a reference? Because the very quick look I did then did not fill me with confidence these would do what I want. It clearly, although it clearly does for brewing. And okay, there's a YouTube video about using it for brewing and distilling. So it does. So I guess I'd have to know what was the happy medium, you know. Clearly not going to buy it from Wish. Okay, now this one costs $160. One in stock. Okay, place a drop or two of sample on the prism, read the results. Features automatic temperature compensation, makes manual temperature corrections unnecessary. Most popular refractometer range due to its usefulness of what known as quality control. It's a sugar refractometer. Ugh, it's doing my head in. You know what I want? I want some fucking scientist to come up with something that, and I don't need it to be super precise. I don't need it to be super precise, but something like the equivalent of litmus paper, where you put the paper in, you know, the sensor in, and it gives you a color, and then you have like a chart that you look at, and you go, okay, like this color is 60% alcohol, and then it goes through all these shades down to 20% alcohol, and you look at the shade your thing's gone and look on the chart, and that's going to give you an approximation of the alcohol content. Why won't someone invent that? I should just find, now that shops are open again, I should just find a place in Melbourne, because I don't trust the internet and I don't trust my ability to get the right thing off the internet. Distilling supplies in Melbourne. Specificmechanical.com distilling. Ooh, growlers, distillers. Yeah, what could go wrong with an alcohol distiller for $100 off Wish, just because it's essentially a bomb? I mean, what could possibly go wrong with ordering a cheap distiller from Wish? Ooh, an alembic pot still. Yes. So I thought it was funny. Probably the biggest purely cocktail channel on YouTube, How to Drink. He did one where he bought a still from Amazon and he was going to make his own gin, and and he was out. He's just going, I live in a condo, and I realized as I looked at the instructions, yeah, this is essentially a bomb. It's a thing under pressure that if something goes wrong, it would explode, which would not be good. So he couldn't bring himself to do it, because he basically just thought it was too dangerous. Yeah, I might want to plug in my fucking laptop. Oh my god, I knocked the plug out of the wall. What an idiot. Lucky I got that warning. Oh my god, I tell you one thing, stills are beautiful things. They really are. That's industrial stuff. Yeah, anyway. Because the stills on Wish are for decorative purposes. Kirsten, you reckon a home brew shop? Yeah, I might look at a home brew shop. Distilled spirits have alco meters for $15-20. Yeah, I'll find a home brewing shop somewhere local, because there'll probably be several in the area, and I'll just talk to them about what they have and what might suit purposes. Because I don't want to waste even a small amount of money on something that just doesn't work, but also don't want to spend a fortune, because it's not for any important purpose. It's just for my amusement. Oh no, Kirsten, I have not seen the Archie stills. I was just looking because when I went on Google, then one of the suppliers actually supplies copper stills, and they just look beautiful. And it reminded me of when Henry did one of his live streams from Brogan's Way, and the stills were in the background. Stills are very beautiful things, as in commercial stills, not hillbilly stills. I'm thinking, because I've been playing Red Dead Redemption, you run across people trying to distill moonshine at various points, and you help them out by finding specific herbs for them to see how that will flavor their moonshine. And so it's like, no, not like a hillbilly still, but these beautiful column stills and whatnot. They just look fantastic. Still images. These are all too small. But yeah, you should just look them up online. Stills are really quite beautiful bits of engineering. Right, as you watch a video of a guy used fuel to light a fire, he held the entire 5 litre and it didn't end well. No, they don't. They absolutely don't. There's that famous one of the person with a bloody, like a, what looks like a watering can of petrol, and they pour it on a fucking already burning barbecue. And of course, the flame travels back up the path of the thing to the bloody, and seems to be a plastic container with petrol in it. And I think the person's running around the backyard panicking, like they're shaking it, thinking that will put it out, and that just throws burning petrol everywhere. And they're running around the backyard panicking with this thing, and then they realize it might explode in their hand, and they throw it. It's just like flame everywhere. It's such a fuck up. So, Kirsten, did you send the picture on Facebook or Twitter? Probably on Facebook by the looks of that. Fall Guys. Kirsten. Oh, nice. Yes, that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. The 6-foot tall pipes on these stills. And again, it's like little stills are quite beautiful, and big commercial ones are quite beautiful. Oh, you're saying those men are 6 feet tall? Oh my god. Okay, so those are monster fucking stills. If they're 6 feet, it's like those stills are like 30 feet high. They're fucking monsters. What's this? Oh no, fuck off. Right, okay. Nope, go away. Okay. Abigail, you saw in person a bunch of people light a bonfire with petrol, pouring way too much on the wood. When they lit it, there's a wave of fire that engulfed half the backyard. Yep. Fire brigade saved their house, which is nice. Okay, the picture's actually quite small. I will show the way fucking Facebook works. It's quite small. I will show the picture. Okay. Share that screen. Chrome tab, Facebook, share. Okay. So you can see, okay, it's such a small picture, but there are tiny, tiny men in that picture, and they're 6 foot. So yeah, those stills are 3 stories high. That's serious distilling going on there. That's the thing. Readers, have I seen the brewery in the old Irish pub in Clifton Hill? I have not. Do you know what I have seen? Who's at the what's that beer brand that tries to talk up their convict heritage? The ad that annoys me is like 300 lashes or something. James Squire has a pub in the city in Melbourne, and they actually brew beer on the premises. The giant beer brewing. Are they stills, or have they got a different name? But yes, you can see them in the cellar of the building. Giant opium hookahs. Yes, definitely. Yes. So yeah, the James Squire pub in the Melbourne CBD makes beer on the premises, and so you can see it sort of down the cellar from the street. They're pretty impressive looking. I think Spirit stills look better. And you get like these column stills. Look, I'll try and find it. images. Like this. They're very science fiction-y even. Very sort of Doctor Who Dalek-y looking things. I'll show you this one. This is a nice picture of some column stills. Oh, no, wait, that was the wrong one. Oh, well, you can see there's multiple images there, but I opened one bigger. So yeah, I just love the way that looks. That's very sort of steampunky, science fictiony, I think. Um, but they come in all shapes and sizes. Those are pretty big industrial ones. But I've seen sort of smaller hobbyist ones that look the same but are much smaller. Very cool. Oh, so because you say the James Squire fermenters are mostly for show. Yeah. No. Most of what comes out of the pub just comes from the CUB brewery. But I think they make something in those cellars. Not enough to actually, cater for a busy pub. But yeah, I'm not surprised if they're mostly for show. Uh, yes, Megaleech, they look like musical instruments. I agree. All right, I'm going to put this back in the freezer. Use it again another day. All right. I built up a lot of my clear ice because I hadn't been using it. Now I've been using it. I'm going to make some more this week. I agree, Kirsten. I love stills too. I think they're awesome. Abigail, the engineering section of the JJ Enterprise was shot in a brewery. Yep, I agree. That would work. Second movie was shot in a particle lab, of course. Ooh, Megaleech in with the puns, the dad jokes. Kirsten likes stills. Megaleech prefers movies. Dad joke. I love it. I love it. Oh, Raiders, the Abbotsford's also brewing Cascade. There you go. But yeah, because stills are just they just look great. I think they're a wonderful piece of engineering. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna. Despite the fact that there's a mild temptation to get a still, like brew my own moonshine and that sort of stuff, and flavor it with who knows what. Start making gin. But yes, I think I might get started. Mind you, I think I told a story before. Mrs. Angry shares a birthday, like literally the birth date, with one of her longtime friends. They're born on the same date. They're exactly the same age, and they often have a joint birthday party. And last one I went to, I was playing barman. I just thought for fun, I thought, okay, I'll do a cocktail menu. I've like 4 or 5 cocktail options, relatively simple. I'll have the ingredients there, and people can come up and order a cocktail and make a cocktail. And one of the guests there, this guy, he had a still, and he was making his own booze at home, and he made this. I think it was along the lines of a limoncello, but it was made with different fruit, and it was fucking glorious. And he just talked about like, yeah, he does the whole thing where he starts with a 95% neutral spirit, and then you go through this whole process of macerating the flavors in there, uh, and then diluting it to an acceptable alcohol content thing. Oh, nice, Abigail! You did the anticipation joke. I love it. I absolutely love it. Ah. God, oh, now I'm feeling. I'm not really feeling tired. I think I'm just feeling old. I'm old. Anyway, so yes. Christ, as much as the temptation, these things, they're fucking clarified cocktails can be very dangerous because they don't really taste like alcohol. And I don't think you lose a lot of the alcohol content from them. Like I said, you can work out dilution and whatnot. This is like saying, like, okay, this one that was the Applejack. It's like, okay, it's about half Applejack, which is 40%, and the other contents are non-alcoholic. So it's probably about a 20% alcohol content, unless you lose some alcohol in the clarification process, which I'm not sure of. Whereas this one, the Sazerac, that's like all booze, and I added a little bit of citrus because it needed an acidic content. I can't really taste the citrus. I put like an ounce of lemon juice in there, and I made a little bit extra with it. So that is probably closer to 30% alcohol. Probably closer to 30% alcohol, and it does not fucking taste like it. It really doesn't. Very dangerous. Like I said, when I did a zombie, I did a clarified zombie, and a zombie's just like, all the fucking rums and all the fruit juices. And so again, it was probably in the region of 20% alcohol as a drink. So like if you're drinking rum straight, that's going to be 40% alcohol. This is diluted in the form is probably 20% alcohol, but it tasted like no alcohol. And so you just go, this kind of just tastes fruity. I'm just going to, and then you're like, oh, okay, no. I just had quite a bit of alcohol. That's a bit much. We were playing the animal game. Elephant neigh, horse meow. Yeah. Raiders, you're following a sport, but it doesn't start till midnight and goes for 90 minutes. That is going to make your Monday a bit tough. Raiders, nice Trump reference. Person at TV, prison cell. Oh my God. Do you like one of his idiot challenges to the election when it got thrown out at one of the appeal courts, and the judge writing the opinion was an actual Trump appointee, and it can be summarized, the reason for throwing out the case could be summarized as, the fuck is wrong with you? The summary of it was, for this case to have understanding, you have to have both clear allegations of wrongdoing and clear evidence to support those allegations. And you don't have either. So they were throwing out this case not just because they didn't believe the evidence, that Trump didn't have any evidence, but the case didn't actually give any clear allegation. It didn't specifically say this happened, which is wrong. It was just this incredibly vague complaint of, oh, it's not fair. We wanted to win and we didn't. I was like, that's not a legal complaint. And the absolute fucking lunatics online who are still deep in this fucking hallucination, and they're deep in the fucking cult and the conspiracy, and they say really dumb things. Speaking of people in cults and conspiracies, just before home time.
Hi. How you going?
How you doing, buddy?
Thank God I'm on time.
Yep, right on time. Nice to see you.
I've not been very well.
No, I gathered. That's why whenever you say like, oh, so you do not put yourself in harm's way because you think you have to do a thing. One looks after one's health first.
I don't.
No, you don't. That's why I have to keep telling you.
Yeah. So is boss of the house.
Yeah, and it's good that he's there to do that.
And I've got to see my doctor in the morning.
Oh, you worried about the doctor? The doctor's saying, fuck
No.
you, big good boy?
He said, we've got to have a triple session.
Ooh.
He's going to go, you took too many drugs of nitrous oxide and hurt your brain. I'm going to go, I know. I was
We established
rehab.
that. Yeah.
And they didn't like me. Because the first rehab, there's two rehabs in St. Vinny's. One's in the hospital itself, and the other one's at Kew. And they said, you're going to Kew. And I went, I don't want to go to Kew. It's a long way away. And yeah. And then I didn't want to go to far Kew. And I went to stay in the hospital. And I had a phone call and said, we refuse to have Adrian Collier. We won't have him under any circumstances because he's a self-harmer. And we won't have anyone like that in the place. And I went, oh. And then when the doctor came in, I said, I heard a phone call about me. And they said this.
Yeah.
And I have never self-harmed in my fucking life. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't give a shit what they say. That's not true. And I told him the story of falling out of bed asleep and really cutting myself. I really cut myself in a few different places. And I had to get stitched up. And I had cuts and bruises all over me because I'd fucking fall over, right? I've still got bruises and shit all over me. And cuts because I fucking fall over. And they go, oh, he's been self-harming. And so I showed this doctor this big cut on my back and said, how the fuck did I self-do that? That's a spectacular self-harm, that is. And I sort of reached around and went, it's not really very convenient. Unless I got a hacksaw. I could have got a hacksaw. That's the point. I could have got a hacksaw and did it. But that's really over the top, don't you think? And he said,
it's a bit over the top.
Okay, I understand. You should never have heard that phone call. I apologize for that phone call. People will be told about that. That's really rude, and we should never. You shouldn't be put in that situation. Yeah. And what it was this poor nurse reciting back to this other nurse what she'd heard and was writing it down.
Right.
And she sounded actually pretty pissed.
Yeah.
That this place wouldn't take me. Because on her point of view, it sounded a little bit like, you're fucking too lazy to take this guy, and you suck. But, you know, and she didn't believe I self-harmed. She believed I tried to smuggle in a lot of vapes. Took them from me.
Yeah.
And took the other ones I smuggled in and took them from me. And I only had one left. And I had to sneak some juice in.
Oof. Yeah.
But life goes on. So how's things been? Apart from me being ill, I might have to fuck off soon too.
Well, I'm fucking off soon. It's bedtime.
It is too.
You've literally got here at the final bell. Time, please, gentlemen.
Well, I still want to fucking drink.
Yeah, I've been
Before
having
you put
drinks.
the fucking towels on the taps and Coronation Street ends. Oh, what's that?
This is okay. Now you try and guess. This is one of my clarified cocktails. What do you think the base spirit was in this before I turned it into this?
Okay,
Just from
so
the color.
something dark, something really dark. It's sort of green. But I don't get good color. So what actual color is it?
It's yellow. It's a very light yellow. It was whiskey. It was basically
Wow.
that's a whiskey and cognac base, so very dark.
Oh God. Oh, that'd
What?
be so nice.
Yeah, it is. It's a Sazerac. It's the Highland Sazerac that I made on Friday night. I made a clarified, and this. Okay, here's a direct comparison. This is a Applejack cocktail, and that's Applejack, and that's what it looks like clarified. It's almost completely clear.
Yeah.
It's a magic process that weirds me out. I've been doing it for a while, and it still weirds me out, the result you get.
Yeah. Because it only takes out the color, doesn't it? It doesn't take out any of the booze.
I don't think, we're having this discussion a bit earlier, I don't think it takes out alcohol, but it takes out tannins. And someone explained us this whole thing about the molecules in the milk bond with other things. So it takes all the harsh edges off the flavor, it takes out the color, and it softens everything. So that basically, this, which is, cognac and whiskey, it tastes, and it's got a bit of lemon juice in it because it needed acidic content. It tastes like those waters that have a hint of fruit in them. Like it doesn't.
Oh, I
like,
want some of that so
yeah.
badly.
Yeah. No, they're both very light. Because this is probably about 20% alcohol, and this is probably more. This is probably closer to 30%. But you drink it and you go, I taste no alcohol at all, and then you fall over. And
yeah. I used to make a drink called a Nanga, and it tasted like chocolate milk.
oof.
And you go, oh, that's nice. Chocolate milk with a bit of a kick, just a little bit of a kick.
Yeah.
And fucking 6 of them, and you're on your fucking head because they drink down really nicely.
Yeah.
And the way you make it is a bottle of Bailey's, a bottle of what's that one that looks like a priest's robe?
Oh, Frangelico or something.
Frangelico, and a bottle of vodka, and and you mix them all up and you drink them down, and it tastes so nice and chocolatey.
Yeah.
And then you get fucked up. And one night I was drinking Nangas with my friend and my girlfriend, and I got so pissed that I was crawling to the toilet and screaming that I was gonna die.
Yeah.
And they painted my face for me.
Good on them.
How lovely of them.
Good on them.
And my girlfriend was so embarrassed at me.
Yeah.
For getting that fucking wild pissed. And apparently my friends were unimpressed. That's bullshit. They'd seen me that fucked up before.
Snuck up on you.
Them up that before. And I was supplying fucking really good dope. So fuck them.
Yeah.
I think they were pissed that I didn't have any good dope.
Yeah.
But we got shit-faced instead. And they were shit-faced. So fuck them.
Banana liqueur with milk tastes like a banana paddle pop. So it's which is very deceptive. Oh, hi, Locust Trooper wants to say hi to you because you don't see them.
Hey, Locust Trooper, how you doing?
So hello and goodbye, in fact, because it's bedtime.
Okay.
So as you just got in to say hello, goodbye. I'm going to be taking tomorrow night off. Probably be back on Wednesday. We'll see. The world's a strange and mysterious place, and I hesitate to predict anything that far ahead. I said Wednesday, didn't I?
Tuesday?
Sorry?
You're not doing Tuesday?
I just realized I said Wednesday when I meant Tuesday.
Okay.
But I hesitate to predict anything as far as 48 hours away anyway, because
That's right.
there's too
Especially
many
since we're
variables.
COVID free for 30 days.
Yes. That was the weirdest fucking thing. Well, Mrs. Angry and I went out last night, date night, a dine in, favorite places. And it's not just, it didn't feel that weird, but I'm just going, but what feels weird is knowing that there is basically zero chance of me. I'm going out to a place where other people are, and there is basically zero chance of me getting COVID. Like, it's not absolutely zero. There could be an asymptomatic person wandering around, but I'm like more likely to win lotto than contract COVID at the moment. That can change really quickly, as they're finding out in South Australia. But the weirdest aspect to going out was realizing there was basically no chance of me getting COVID. Whereas, like the Northern Hemisphere is a fucking disaster area.
It's just
Anyway.
I fucking looked at the latest figures from America. 200,000 people a day are getting sick.
2 million cases in the last 2 weeks. And the curve line is going vertical at the moment. Like, it's hit the exponential.
I am amazed that they haven't dragged Trump out by his balls.
It's denial. It's just this massive denial.
Drawn and quartered him.
Yeah, but half the country doesn't
fucking
think it's
head
real.
on one of the spikes on the fucking White House. Geez, he's killed a nation.
Yeah, it's up to
fucking not a war criminal so much as a against humanity. Someone, a ghost, just opened your freezer.
I've got a haunted kitchen, but I'm going to go to bed now. So good night, everybody.
Night. Sorry for being late. I love yous, and you should subscribe to Angry and give his videos some likes because
Goodbye, everyone.
He's a good guy.